Yourself sneezing a lot lately, though? You're not alone. Apparently, this is one of the worst seasons for those suffering from allergies. Well, for kids, it can be even more challenging. And joining us this morning is Pediatrician Doctor Goldie Cohen, who, to help us out, kids out and parents out. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so it's been pretty bad for a lot of people lately.
Right.
You hear people sneezing all the time. Let's just start with the basics. What exactly is seasonal allergies?
Seasonal allergies are essentially an overreaction of the immune system to something that otherwise would seem harmless. For example, tree pollens or ragweed. But in people with allergies, their body sees tree pollen, for example, as an invader. And it launches an immune response and essentially creates antibodies, specifically IgE antibodies, which can trigger the release of histamines. And that is what causes all of the symptoms we hear about with seasonal allergies.
So a lot of pollen that causes it as well. What are some of the symptoms besides sneezing?
Well, 1 in 5 Americans can tell you, because about 20% of Americans do suffer from seasonal allergies. The most common symptoms would be a clear, itchy, runny nose.
Okay.
In children, they describe it as being a faucet.
Oh.
And as you can see in the picture, it's so common for them to use the palm of their hand to wipe their nose. We call it the allergic salute.
Or sleeves.
Right, or sleeves. Some kids even get a little wrinkle on the bridge of their nose from wiping their nose so much.
Right.
Similarly, the eyes are affected. You can have itchy, watery eyes. Sometimes kids get dark circles under their eyes. We call allergic shiners.
Really? Okay.
Sneezing multiple times. We say machine gun sneeze fits. They just sneeze for
on and on and on and on. Okay, yeah.
And finally, some cough. So these symptoms can be really disruptive. You can imagine kids in a classroom having symptoms like this, and then you have to know that they're also coming off of not a great night's sleep.
Yeah, so it's been...
They already have poor attention. This is a really disruptive disorder for kids.
It's like a ripple effect. So how do you tell the difference, though? Because some of the symptoms sound like you have a cold, like a common cold. So how can you tell the difference between a cold and if you actually have allergies?
Right, that's a great question, because kids on average get 6 to 8 colds a year, and then this high incidence of seasonal allergies, and they do have a lot of similar symptoms. They do have some major differences, though. For example, duration.
Okay.
We expect the common colds to wrap up in about 10 days.
Okay.
Some kids with seasonal allergies will have symptoms from April clear through October.
Wow, okay. So that's one way to look at it.
It is. Also, genetics. Something to think about. It's not required, but if your parents have allergies, there's a really good chance, up to 75%, if both of your parents have allergies, that the child will have allergies.
We're out of time, so 20 seconds. Okay, tell us some of the treatments that are available over the counter and also prescription, right?
Yeah, the easiest way to start would be avoiding allergens, which can be challenging, but if you're going to try and treat, nasal saline sprays can be very helpful.
Do that daily, which I do, by the way.
Our first line treatment for prescription treatments would be a nasal glucocorticoid.
Okay.
This is a steroid. It's put right into the nose, has almost no side effects to the child's rest of their body, and really can eliminate the majority of their symptoms and improve quality of life dramatically.
No cure, but at least you can alleviate some of the symptoms that you have to deal with, you know, for this season. Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Maureen, let's toss it to you. Okay. Speaking of weather and pollen and sneezing.
I got to admit, I got the allergy shots a couple years ago, and it worked wonders for me. So I don't know if it works the same for everyone, but that definitely helped me out, especially here in the spring, so I can get out and enjoy it and not have to worry too much about my allergies. We have a beautiful morning out in Netherlands.